problem that people like this, who are trying to do this brain dead, as you will call it, trying to pollute this kind of teachings, which it doesn't promote Islam in its right way.
Sure.
So I have said, that according to what the Prophet Muhammad said, our Prophet said, that Prophet Muhammad said, I was sent to perfect good character and good morals.
For sure.
So Islam is about good character, good morals, to be kind to others, to those who are not even Muslim, because this is our job. Part of when we convey the message is that we have to have this akhlaq, this behavior, this standard, that where we not here to call anything like extremism or all this whatever you're doing. That's not what the Quran teaches you. The Quran never taught you what did you in the Quran. It says Surah Al-Mu'minun chapter 60 ayah 3. It said in the meaning is that if the disbelievers, they will not do any harm and not fight you for your religion or your faith. So in other words, Allah says to be kind. Be kind and be just. Because God is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His ad. One of His names is ad, His justice. Sure. So if you now today misrepresent Islam, what's happening? Now the people start thinking, wait, they see this man cussing, swearing.
You know what, as Omar, we're talking about Omar, and we had a little bit of a discussion a couple of weeks ago. As Omar was talking to me and as he was saying the things he was saying to me, I realized that the negative impact he was having on all the work that's being done in the park by those who will still have control over their manners, etc., etc. So I wasn't offended one bit. I was just looking at him and I thought to myself, if I was you, if I was Mansour, as I was Hashim, him and others, I would say, you are wiping out in 15 minutes all of the seeds we've been planting by you manifesting this version of Islam that most people are going to be. And the same could be said for Christians as well. So what we both agree is, and I don't know about you, but I haven't always been true to this myself. There have been times here in the park, please God, not too many, where I've allowed myself to be mocking and disparaging and things like that. And I can see your demeanour has changed. My demeanour needs to continue to change, but it's a matter of asking God to give us the strength to work on ourselves, to perfect ourselves by His grace, to be representatives of the one God to everyone that we meet. And so Omar obviously is out of control. We could be out of control, but by the grace of God, we're working on it. And me and you standing here, and we're united in acknowledging moral evil is creeping through everywhere. The devil is after our children, and we're just saying that, Miss TNT, you don't want to see that, do you, on your channel? The RSE stuff? No, okay. The TNT Greece, there's stuff that's being taught to our children in primary schools. No, this is TNT, he's TNT. And basically the moral confusion and the moral evil is pushing Christians and Muslims to have to look at each other and say, our God and our religion tells us we must do something to protect the weakest, the children. And they're the ones who the devil wants. The devil wants to get their innocence and break it as low down to the ground as possible, so when they're adults, they will never know they're lost. Because I remember I was very, very disturbed at a very small age. I saw some really hardcore pornography when I was really, really young. It never left my mind. Even now, it could come a flash. But it propelled me into a lifestyle of alcohol, drugs, self-abuse, host of different things. So I got to the point where I was going to kill myself, okay? And my conscience was completely gone because I hadn't listened to my conscience. If you turn your conscience down and down and down, you won't hear it anymore. Anyway, I was going to kill myself. Something very bad was going to happen to myself or somebody else. And I remember even to this day, I was allowed to experience just briefly a time when I was this big, just playing in the garden with a spoon on a sunny day. And that just was like a smelling salt, allowed me to realise I wasn't always who I am now. If a child doesn't have that and they end up in the state I am, there is no way back. There's no gold standard. There's no way you can weigh up what you are with what you should be, which is a child. So this is why I'm so, let's say, so concerned about these things, because I don't want children to go have that smelling salt taken away from them. I mean, there's no guarantee that children will never lose their innocence, but let them have their innocence first. And this is what Satan wants. This is why Satan wants to have people like this in the classrooms reading books like this to our children. And I won't show, because Mr. Greeks very prudently said, the RSC things in the sex education that's in primary schools now that you can't withdraw your children from. Has God blessed you with children as yet? Have you got children? No children. In the next few years, this year, you cannot take your children out of these RSE classes, and I'm going to show, not Mr. Greek, hang on. These are the things, no thanks, we've got enough, thank you, sorry. See, these are the 7-year-old lessons. Look at the terms they're putting into the, I don't want you to look at this. These are 7-year-old children who are going to be taught these things. Now, this is where me and him, we stand together in the face of Satan as a Muslim and a Christian against the moral evil that's growing up in our society. And please God, our religion will make us do something about it. So my prayer is that please God, somehow you'll wake us all up so we can go and we can do something. If we save one, that would be enough. That would be pleasing to God. No, thank you.
At the young age, they think it's normal. So once they grow up, they think it's okay to carry out these types of behavior.
For sure.
Thank you for
Yeah, no, thank you, and thank you as well. Yeah, and thank you, Mr. Greeks.